Hi guys, welcome to the week 6 video lesson for Group Piano 2. We're going to go ahead and start out with today. The only exercise that you guys are going to have to basically do all semester that's not actually in your book. It is on Canvas in the modules, and I also think it's in just the larger spring 2021 module, and it's the vocal warm-up with the modulation between keys. So we're going to go over that today. You only have to do 3 keys for this week, and I think each week it's only 3 keys at a time, so it's not so bad. The only thing that is a little bit complicated is doing the modulation. So I'm just going to kind of talk you guys through how to do this and how to do the modulation. It's really not hard if you know what it is that you're doing. If you're sort of just like thinking about it, note by note, and you're not really thinking about what is actually happening, it makes it a lot harder. So here's the vocal warm-up. It's a very classic 5-finger pattern. All you have to do for this week is those 3 keys. So let's break it down exactly what I'm doing. Right hand is very simple. It's just the 5-finger pattern up and down. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. And going up. So just up and down the 5-finger pattern. And then what we're doing in the left hand is a little bit more complicated, but really not so bad. So on the way up with the 5-finger pattern, I'm playing a 1 chord on the way up, and then the 5-7 chord on the way down, and then I come back to the 1 chord. Simple enough. So while the right hand is playing, I'm going the 1 chord, to my 5, 6, 5, back to 1. Now what I do after that is while I'm holding, to modulate, you're going to play with your left hand. You're going to go up to the 5-7 chord of the next key. So what I'm playing here is the 5-7 chord in C sharp / D flat, however you want to think about it. So notice the bottom note is going to stay the same. So on my 1 chord, I'm going to keep my pinky on C, and I'm going to bring my fingers 1 and 2 up to play. If you're thinking of it in C sharp, this would be F sharp and G sharp. And if you're thinking about it in D flat, it would be G flat and A flat. Okay? So I'll just play that really slow. 5-7 chord of D. Now I'm going to play my D. 1, 5, 1. And you stop right there. So, if you just remember that the chord that you play to modulate is the 5-7 chord of the next key, that makes it a lot easier. So, definitely make sure that you know what that key is, what that chord should be, and you will be good to go. And again, you only ever have to do 3 keys at a time, so just 2 of those modulation transitions. So not too bad at all. So we will go ahead and take a look now at the unit for the week, which is our Unit 18, and now we're going back to major scales in this unit. So we've been doing the Group 1 and 2 minor scales, and now we're taking a look at Group 3 major scales. So we're starting to get into our flat keys. So let's go ahead and take a look over here. So as usual, they kind of start out with a little introduction, and it's having us play the triads of the key. So we're again in major, just a quick review. If we start on B flat, we have a 1 chord, then the 2 is minor, then the 3 is minor, then the 4 is major, and the 5 is major, and the 6 is minor, and the 7 is diminished, 1 is major. And then you would try that same exercise in our keys of A flat and E flat, which are our other 2 keys that are in the group 3 major scales. So let's go ahead and look over at the scale that you're going to play for this week, which would be B flat major. And we're going to be playing this one 2 octaves, hands separately, and the arpeggio just like we've been doing on the other ones. So we're now getting into some finger patterns that are quite different from the ones that we've done before, but there really is a logic to how it all works, and the idea is that we don't put thumbs on black keys, so you're always sort of thinking about how many groups of white keys do I have at a time, and where do the black keys fall in this scale. So for B flat, it's a perfect example. If I think about, okay, so I have my first note is B flat. They have a 4 written in as the first note. You can do 4. I think 2 is a lot easier. So you might want to just cross that out. And I'm going to think 2. And then I look at my next group and I've got 2 white keys and then a black key. So on my C, D, and E flat. So I'm going to play 1, 2, 3 on that group. And then I'm going to look, I have 3 white keys in a row and then a black key. So I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4 for that group. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can just kind of go up and do it that way. And then the same thing I'm going to think about in the left hand. I'm going to play my 3, 2, 1 on those first 3 notes. 4, 3, 2, 1 here. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. So basically that's how it works. And I think if you find that if you follow the scale patterns that they suggest here, it really does make it super easy. Again, the only change that I would make is starting on 2. 4 is kind of consistent. Like if we were imagining that we were coming from doing a previous octave, we'd be on 4. But I think that starting on 2 is easy, and as long as that doesn't confuse you, I wouldn't worry about it. So let's go ahead and try this. I'll try right hand first, then left hand, and then arpeggio. So I'm going to start on 2. Ready, go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2. Left hand. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, or 3, either one works. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Arpeggio, same thing. I'm going to start on 2 instead of 4. 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Keep your elbow out. 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, or 4, either one works. Left hand. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, or 3, either one works. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. And then the other 2 keys in this group 3, E flat and A flat, we will go ahead and do for next time. So as usual, there's technique exercises over here. Again, these are kind of working on playing the finger patterns in our flat keys, kind of working towards what you need to be doing for the scales. And again, these are a great opportunity to practice really refining your technique while you play these, and that will be super, super helpful. So we'll go over and look at the reading exercises. We have 4, and you'll choose one. No transposition on these reading exercises, so I won't demonstrate the transposition, but as always, it's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to practice. It will be really helpful if you feel like you need that extra work to do the transpositions for the harmonizations. So I definitely encourage you to practice those. Here we go. Here's number 1. And here's number 3. exercises. So for these, you will do a transposition. So you'll notice that the first two over here on page 236, these do not have a transposition listed, so these are a little bit more challenging. And if you want to do the transposition for one of these, you would just go with any key of your choice. And again, these are just a little bit more on the challenging side, so feel free to choose one of the other two, but if you want to do one of these, that'll be just fine. So I won't demonstrate a transposition for Humoresque or Polivetsian Dance, but you could choose those and just do one in the key of your choice.